What's up everybody? Welcome back to New 9 Golf. In this video, I'm turning my basketball shoes into golf shoes, and I'm gonna show all of you how you can do the same. Let's get into this video. Okay guys, so these are my Nike Air Max Impact Pure Platinum shoes. They are a normal pair of shoes that I wear. I used to wear them on the basketball court. Now I wear them outside, but I've decided I'm turning them into golf shoes. Well, how do I do that? Because they don't have any spikes on the bottom. Well, that's when our friends GolfKicks come into play. This little box, it actually looks like the same size as a box of golf balls, has 20 spikes that I can self-assemble spikes into my shoes so I can now take these to the golf course. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how to install them, and then at the very end of this video, I'm gonna take them to the course to show you how they perform. So let's get into it. So I'm obviously a huge sneakerhead and I have a huge collection of Jordan golf shoes, but I finally decided to put some of these GolfKicks on some of my outdoor shoes just so I could kind of see if there was a difference and then let you guys know how they compare to a real golf shoe. So on the back of this GolfKicks box, there is a QR code that shows you in about 3 minutes how to assemble these. I've now watched the video and I'm going to kind of walk you guys through how they recommend you assemble your spikes onto the shoes. Okay, so let's go through what GolfKicks is going to send you. They're obviously gonna send you spikes, and these spikes look of high quality. They're definitely like a hard plastic or hard rubber, but they look very similar to any like Stinger spike or a replaceable spike that you would buy or see on a golf shoe. They send you a screwdriver, a Sharpie, a ball marker, 2 ball markers. Can never have too many ball markers. They also send you shoe goo, which I'm pretty sure is just crazy glue. The funny thing about crazy glue is that I always think of one thing, and it's a scene in American Pie 2. If you guys have seen that, Jim, the main character, super glues himself to himself. If you don't know what I'm referencing, you definitely have to watch American Pie 2 and you'll definitely get the joke. That's what I think of every time I see super glue, so that's kind of funny. I think I just super glued myself to myself. The last thing that they send us is a drill bit. So if you have a power drill, you can use a drill, or you can also use the screwdriver. The first thing that GolfKicks recommends is that the sole needs to be flat. Okay, there's a lot of shoes out there that have pre-existing ribs or grip on the shoe. The best results are gonna be on a flat shoe. So these shoes that I chose, my Air Max Impacts, are a flat sole. So I brought in 2 of my golf shoes and 2 of my favorite golf shoes. These are the Jordan 4s. These are actually the Black Cats. Pretty rare golf shoe if you do know golf shoes. So I brought these to look at the sole, and then I also brought in my trainers. So these are Jordan ST trainers, and this is my favorite sole of all time. The Tiger Woods golf shoe actually has a very similar sole. They don't make either anymore, so this sole is very popular and it's by far my favorite sole. So the reason why I brought these is I wanted to look at the spike setup on the sole of the shoes so I can determine how I want to lay out the spikes. So what GolfKicks is telling us to do is to take the spike and put it upside down where you kind of think you want the spikes to go. That seems pretty logical, that it's measure twice, drill once kind of thing here. GolfKicks recommends that you could put 8 spikes on your shoe, but if you have a favorite pair of golf shoe and they have either just 6 spikes or 7 spikes, you could definitely do that as well. So I'm gonna kind of play around with a few different ideas of how I want these to go into my shoe. I've seen other people ask, can you take these in and out? In theory, yes, you can. But if you're turning a pair of street shoes into golf shoes, you primarily want to leave them out as your golf shoes because you're gonna have little holes in there and there's just gonna be a headache of having to screw them in and take them out and screw them in, take them out, that I think we're committing to turning these into golf shoes. Okay, so I'm playing around with some ideas. I definitely want 4 spikes on the heel. I for sure want 4 spikes up near the toe. What you don't want to do, and if you look at any pair of golf shoes, there's never a spike in the dead center of the arch of your foot because you're walking, that probably has the most flexion on the shoe, that you definitely want to put them on either the toe half and the heel half, but definitely not in the middle. Okay, so I just want to take one more look at the Jordan 4s. These are a 2, 4, 5, 6, oh no, let's learn how to count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 spikes on here and 6 spikes on my trainers. So both of these only have 2 spikes in the heel, but they also have existing traction. But because I want the most traction in the shoe, I'm 100% putting 4 spikes in the heel. So I'm gonna kind of do a hybrid between the trainer and the Jordan 4. So now what I'm gonna do, since I have it all laid out, you can see here from my top camera that I have them laid out how I want this shoe to set up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to first take the lid off of this pen. I'm gonna take off a spike one by one and draw a black dot where I want the spike to go. And time lapse. Okay, so now you can see on the sole of my shoe, I got a whole bunch of black dots, some Sharpie dots. In the video that they show on GolfKicks, they already have existing holes, so I'm not sure if he put the drill bit in first and worked them or if he just did it with his hand. I'm gonna try it with the hand with the screwdriver because they give it to you already just to see how that works. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna test one without putting the shoe goo on it first, just to see how hard it is to get into that sole. Then I'll take it out, put the shoe goo on, and we'll complete the full shoe. They did recommend you put your hand inside the shoe just kind of for some better traction, but let's see how hard it is to screw in. So it definitely takes some manpower. These shoes, even though they are a flat sole, they have, it's hard to see, maybe I can show it up here. They have very small little rivets inside, which would be different than like say a Jordan 1. So I'm actually considering getting my drill just so I can start these holes. I think that's gonna be a little bit easier. Let's grab a drill. I'm a huge advocate for work smarter, not harder. We got the drill. Let's try this again, okay? The cool thing about these spikes actually is that they must be magnetic. Like, or maybe they're not, but they have a really good grip. Okay. We're in. So they said we could get started with the drill and then you can finish it off with the screwdriver. Okay, so I got the spike into the shoe, no problem, but I did it without the shoe goo. So now I can take the shoe goo and just put a little dab on it, dab on the drill bit. Oh, there's a safety. So the shoe goo bottle had a cap that you need to break the seal. So I got just a little nail, got that open, and now we can get this back inside the shoe. Gotta make sure we're spinning the right way. And let's try this again. Okay, so there is one spike inside the shoe. Because there's not like a female thread on the other side, it's not gonna lock into place. That you basically just have to get it drilled in or screwed in until it's flush with the shoe. We are gonna let these sit overnight because we are using crazy glue. So you can't just, or I don't recommend you do this and then take them right to the course. That you should definitely let them sit overnight before you take them to the course. Now let's time lapse this bitch. If any of you guys watching are new here, make sure you smash subscribe so you can see a lot of our other cool golf content. Okay, we got our first 4 golf kicks into the heel, and so far it was pretty simple, especially with the drill. I highly recommend you find yourself a power drill. Maybe it was just the sole that was a little tougher to get in with the screwdriver. I highly recommend using a drill because it's been way easier. I'm not forcing my arm into my shoe, but I'm gonna finish this off and I'll show you guys kind of the final product. Okay, I just learned my first lesson, and the last screw that I tried to screw in, I didn't have my hand inside the shoe. Put your hand inside the shoe. It was so much easier once it was inside. So there's another thing to learn. We're learning as we go here at New 90 Golf, but if you're gonna do these yourself, throw your hand inside the shoe. So these golf kicks are around like 30 bucks. So for only $30 to turn your favorite pair of shoes into golf shoes, I think is a pretty good deal. They come in, I think, 6 colors, and everywhere from like, these are just clear, they match these shoes obviously, to like green, red, blue, black. So there's a ton of options depending on what color shoes you have. And so far it's been super easy to install. The cool thing is like every single one of these is flush. Like I haven't gotten one out that I had to change or do multiple times. That with this power drill going in, I find if you're pretty heavy on the trigger and just get it right inside the shoe, that they're staying put and it's like super easy. All right, so I got all of my spikes into my shoe. How many do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 spikes we went with. I've been going back over each spike, just giving it a half turn with the screwdriver, and already on the first ones that I put in, I can already feel the super glue or the shoe goo holding it in and starting to harden. So that was super easy. That took me maybe a total of 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, including having to get the drill. There's my shoe. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my other shoe identical to this setup. I'm gonna take them to the course and I'm gonna compare how these hold up versus a regular golf shoe to give you my final feedback on these GolfKicks. So I'm gonna finish this other shoe and I'll meet you at the golf course. All right guys, so I played my round of golf with the new GolfKicks and they felt awesome. There wasn't one time during my round where I thought, wow, these aren't golf shoes. They felt fantastic. When I was hitting my driver on the tee box, I thought I had a ton of traction. In the fairway, they felt awesome as well. I was in bunkers and I was in some tall rough and I felt really good traction all across the board. They also felt really good on the putting green. And like I said, not once did I think that I'm not wearing golf shoes. So before I went to the course, I obviously hit on the range and that's where I tried my regular golf shoes, the trainers, compared to these GolfKicks. You'll notice a little bit in my toe with my regular golf shoes, I have a lot more traction. That's really the biggest difference that I see when looking at the slow-mo side to side. Overall, I felt like I had control of my feet, and I think the GolfKicks will definitely turn any pair of your shoes into a pair of golf shoes. I would 100% recommend them to you guys if you're considering putting these GolfKicks in your shoes. Overall, it was a success, so I'm giving it the new 9 stamp of approval. Thanks again for watching this video. I'll check in with you next time.